Good morning, students. Myself Deepali Harchande. Today we are going to start with the third lesson of political science, that is key concepts and issues since 1991, humanitarian issues. In the first two chapters, we have studied the changes that have taken place in the world since 1991. We saw how the process of globalization has brought in concepts like participatory state, awareness of human rights, increasing importance of non-state actors, etc. Today, humanitarian issues like environment, then perspectives about poverty and development policies, and approaches towards gender have become important. In this chapter, we are going to learn about the issues and tries to understand how India has dealt with them. In this lesson, we are going to deal with the environment and the issues of environment. First of all, we'll see what does it mean by environment. We'll see few definitions of environment. Very first definition of environment is the circumstances, objects or conditions by which one is surrounded. This is the first definition. Now we'll move towards the second definition. The complex of physical, chemical and biotic factors such as climate, soil and living things that act upon an organism or an ecological community and ultimately determine its form and survival. These are the definitions of environment. Now we'll see what does the word environment really mean. Now environment we are using as a noun. The environment of a function at a point during the execution of a program is the set of identifiers in the function's scope and their bindings at the point. This is the meaning of the word environment. एन्व्हायरमेंटला आपण मराठीमध्ये पर्यावरण म्हणतो. We'll see the simple meaning of environment. With the help of these examples, you will get what does it mean by environment. There are few elements of environment: lithosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. These are the elements of environment. Now, lithosphere word deals with the core and crust of earth. Then biosphere word deals with living organism and living organism on the earth. Then atmosphere deals with the gases, deals with the and proportion of all that gases in the environment. The atmosphere deal with that. Even in the atmosphere we have various layers like stratosphere. Names of the layers are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere and ionosphere. So with the help of these layers you will get the actual condition of our earth. Next is hydrosphere. Hydrosphere deals with water sphere. It includes all the earth's water found in the oceans, glaciers, streams, lakes, the soil, groundwaters and in the air. So hydrosphere deal with the water sphere. The biosphere is one of the 4 spheres of earth that includes living matter. Living matter means all living things like human being, plants, animals, living matter, then bacteria, fungi, animal plants, etc. It is the part of the earth where life exists. Again, if we categorize the biosphere, we have biotic elements and abiotic elements. Biotic elements deals with the living things, living beings, and abiotic things deals with the non-living things. In this way, our environment has formed. Now, what about sustainability? Sustainability means the conservation or preservation of our environment. In मराठीत आपण त्याला म्हणतो सस्टेनेबिलिटीला शाश्वतता काय आहे, म्हणजे हे सगळं जे पर्यावरण आहे, वातावरण आहे, ते कितपत शाश्वत आहे, ते कितपत टिकणार आहे, त्या संदर्भात इथे लिहिलेलं आहे. Now we'll see how God has created this environment. We'll see few pictures of marvelous and beautiful environment. See this, the God gifted nature. These all are the nature pictures where the beauty is on earth. You can see various features also, landforms, then formation of mountains, formation of peaks. See in this picture, this is a picture of at the time of sunset, how beautiful colors are spreaded in the sky. Every day is a masterpiece. You cannot observe the same color in the sky. Every day you will feel different colors in the sky. See the beauty of the nature. See, it's a green environment. The nature has been gifted us. So all this environment, the nature, gives us freshness. They motivate us towards our successful life, and without the nature we cannot live our life satisfactorily. But now few problems has been created. Now we'll deal with the problems. Human being has transformed landscapes such as urban settings and agricultural land conversion. The natural environment is modified into a human environment. The man has started transforming the natural environment into the human environment. Now the new concept has got arise, that is human environment. The human being, they have created their own environment, and for creating that environment, man is depleting the natural resources. The human beings are depleting, in other words, degrading the natural resources. This is due to the greediness of human beings. They are destroying and degrading natural resources. थोडं मराठीमध्ये बघूयात. देवाने ही सृष्टीची जी रचना केलेली आहे ती खूप सुंदर आहे, अद्भुत आहे. ह्या सगळ्या पर्यावरणाचा जर आपण विचार केला तर ह्या सृष्टीचं मानवाने नरकात रूपांतर केलेले आहे. म्हणजेच प्रदूषण, जागतिकीकरण या समस्या आजच्या जगाला भेडसावत आहेत. या पर्यावरणाचं, या वातावरणाचं संरक्षण करणे हे मानवाच्या हातात आहे. मानवानेच या सृष्टीला सौंदर्याकडून ऱ्हासाकडे नेलेले आहे. तर आता ही आपली मानवाची जबाबदारी आहे की आपण या पर्यावरणाचं, वातावरणाचं रक्षण केलं पाहिजे. आता ह्या रक्षण करण्यासाठी सगळ्या जगामधून देश पुढं आलेले आहेत आणि या सर्व देशांनी मिळून आता नवीन पावलं उचलण्याचा एक विचार केलेला आहे. तर नवीन पावलं उचलण्यामध्ये पहिलं पाऊल उचललं गेलं ते 1972मध्ये युनायटेड नेशन्स कॉन्फरन्स ही एक कॉन्फरन्स बोलावली, बैठक तिथं झाली आणि त्या कॉन्फरन्समध्ये वेगवेगळे मेजर्स काय घेतले पाहिजे सृष्टीचं संवर्धन करण्यासाठी, संरक्षण करण्यासाठी याविषयी चर्चा केली गेली. In this globalization, we are leading towards the economic development, but on the other hand, we are not giving importance to the environment. Environment degradation is going on, and for that purpose the UN, United Nations, they held one conference on the human environment in 1972. First, the agenda was international agenda, and this conference held in Stockholm. The main purpose of the conference was to encourage and provide guidelines for the protection and improvement of human environment. In 1983, the UN set up the World Commission on Environment and Development. In Brundtland Commission, the report of the Commission 1987 put forward the concept of sustainable approach as an alternative approach to one based on economic growth. The relationship between economic development and environmental degradation was first placed on the international agenda in 1972 at the United Nations, that is UN, United Nations Conference on the Human Environment, held in Stockholm. Now we'll see what was the purpose of United Nations Conference. The purpose was conference was of encourage and provide guidelines for the protection and improvement of human environment. मराठीमध्ये पाहूयात थोडं. पर्यावरणाचा ऱ्हास थांबवण्यासाठी आणि आर्थिक विकास या दोघांचा एक मेळ बसवण्यासाठी संयुक्त राष्ट्रसंघाने एक कॉन्फरन्स आयोजित केली आणि त्या कॉन्फरन्समध्ये या सगळ्या गोष्टींबद्दल विचार केला गेला. पर्यावरणाचा ऱ्हास तो कसा आपण थांबवू शकतो याविषयी. ही जी कॉन्फरन्स होती ती 1972ला एस्टॅब्लिश किंवा बोलावली गेली, त्याची बैठक भरवली गेली आणि ही कॉन्फरन्स स्टॉकहोम या ठिकाणी भरवण्यात आली होती. तर याचा ध्येय किंवा पर्पज जर आपण बघितला तर सगळ्या देशांमध्ये हा जो पर्यावरणाचा ऱ्हास होत आहे याच्याविषयी चर्चा करणे, त्याच्यानंतर त्याच्यावर काही सोल्युशन्स असतील, मेजर्स असतील त्याविषयी चर्चा करणे आणि याच्यातून आपल्या पर्यावरणाचा विकास किंवा आपल्या पर्यावरणाचं एक सस्टेनेबिलिटी, शाश्वतता कशी ठेवली पाहिजे याविषयी चर्चा करण्यात आली. त्यानंतर UN म्हणजे संयुक्त राष्ट्रसंघाने 1983मध्ये सुद्धा एक कमिशन बोलवली गेली. त्या कमिशनमध्ये सुद्धा त्यांनी ह्याच विषयी चर्चा केली. 1983 नंतर 1987ला सुद्धा त्यांनी एक कमिशन बोलावली आणि याविषयी पुढच्या चर्चा त्यांनी चालूच ठेवल्या. For the further discussion, United Nations had held the commissions In 1983, they had held one commission. That commission was known as the Brundtland Commission. The purpose was world on environment and development of environment and development. Then the next commission was held by the United Nations. It was in 1987 for the further discussion and to discuss about the sustainability of environment to conserve and preservance of environment. To take the follow-up of Brundtland Commission, again United Nations held one General Assembly. That assembly was known as UNCED. The full form is UN Conference and UN Conference on Environment and Development. That is the full form of UNCED. For what purpose they have held that assembly? For the taking follow-up of Brundtland Commission. One more word has been utilized here for conference. That word is summit. So in the next explanation, I may use the word summit also. So summit means conference. The goal of the summit was to understand the concept of development that would support socio-economic development and prevent the continued deterioration of the environment. Continued deterioration of the environment means जे आपण एन्व्हायरमेंटचा ऱ्हास करतोय किंवा एन्व्हायरमेंटला आपण हानी पोचवतोय, हार्म करतोय, ते म्हणजे कंटिन्युअस डिटोरिएशन ऑफ द एन्व्हायरमेंट. सो त्याला प्रिव्हेंट करण्यासाठी हे जे समिट किंवा मराठीत ह्या कॉन्फरन्सला आपण शिखर म्हणतो, शिखर परिषद बोलवली गेली. तसंच इंग्लिशमध्ये त्याला कॉन्फरन्स हा शब्द आहे. तर ह्या सगळ्या पर्यावरणाच्या ऱ्हासाच्या संदर्भात चर्चेसाठी ही समिट किंवा हे शिखर बोलवलं गेलं. नाव द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन वॉज who is deteriorating the environment? Who is degrading the environment? Actually, the developed countries, those who are industrialized developed, or we can say those who are developed in the field of industries, so they are harming, they are deteriorating the nature more than the underdeveloped countries or than the developing countries. So there were a dispute between underdeveloped, developing and developed countries. So here in this summit and this conference, the countries, they discussed on that कि what kind of measures we need to utilize for the underdeveloped, developed and developing countries. So further again they have held new summit. The summit name was Rio Summit. It was held in 1992. जगासमोर हा प्रश्न होता की हे जे सगळं पर्यावरणाचा ऱ्हास होतोय, पोल्युशन होते किंवा ग्लोबलायझेशन होते, हे कुठल्या देशांमुळे होते. मग याच्यामध्ये अविकसित देश, विकसित देश का विकसनशील देश यांचा सहभाग जास्त आहे, हा प्रश्न समोर आला. मग जे सगळ्यात जास्त विकसित देश आहेत, ज्यांच्या इथे औद्योगिक क्रांती झालेली आहे, उद्योगधंदे खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये तिथं डेव्हलप झालेले आहेत, या ज्या कंट्रीज आहेत त्या जास्त पर्यावरणाला हानी पोचवत आहेत, असा एक विचार समोर आणला. आणि त्यामुळे जे अंडरडेव्हलप्ड किंवा डेव्हलपिंग कंट्रीज आहेत, ज्या विकसनशील किंवा विकास झालेला नाही आहे अशा ज्या कंट्रीज आहेत, असे जे देश आहेत, त्यांनी इथं काय नवीन मेजर्स घेता येईल किंवा काय नवीन सॉल्विंग काय मेजर्स असतील ह्याविषयी त्यांनी चर्चा सुरू केली. आपल्या व्यक्तिगत पातळीवर इंडिव्हिज्युअल म्हणूयात किंवा सोशल म्हणूयात, या गोष्टीसुद्धा त्यांनी त्या लेवलला नेऊन त्याचा विचार सुरू केला करायला. आणि मग फायनली आपल्या हेल्थवर किंवा इंडस्ट्रियलायझेशन झालेल्या कंट्रीजमध्ये मानवाच्या हेल्थवर किंवा मानवाच्या आरोग्यावर काय परिणाम होत आहे याविषयी त्याच्यावर चर्चा केल्या गेले. किंवा अजूनही अप्रगत देश आहेत आणि त्यांच्यामध्ये अजूनही विकास झालेला नाही आहे, तेवढ्या इंडस्ट्रीज उदयास आलेल्या नाही आहेत, त्यामुळे तिथल्या लोकांचं हेल्थ जे आहे, आरोग्य हे आहे, हेच नक्कीच चांगलं असणार आहे की विकसित झालेल्या देशांपेक्षा. मग ह्या विषयांवर चर्चा सुरू केली आणि मग ह्या विषयांवर चर्चा करण्यासाठी पुढं जाऊन पुन्हा एक समिती नेमली गेली 1992मध्ये. त्या समितीचं नाव होतं रिओ. सो रिओ दे जानेरो ही नवीन समिती त्यांनी बोलावली आणि पुढचं जे डिस्कशन आहे, जे आरोग्याविषयी होतं, मानवाच्या आरोग्याविषयी जे डिस्कशन होतं, चर्चा होती, ते ह्या रिओ दे जानेरो अर्थ समिट या सभेमध्ये किंवा ह्या समितीमध्ये त्यांनी चर्चा सुरू केली. The another name for Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit was Rio Conference or the Earth Summit. The name was, even they have given one more name, that Rio Summit or Rio Conference. The main purpose of the Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit was convened for addressing urgent problems of environmental protection and socio-economic development at the global level. The assembled leaders signed the Declaration on Global Climatic Change and Biological Diversity. The Rio Convention endorsed the Global Forest Principles and adopted Agenda 21 for achieving sustainable development in the 21st century. Now we'll see few current issues, current problems. See, very first problem is urbanization. Due to the urbanization, we are facing the problems of resources, natural resources. We are degrading the natural resources due to urbanization. See here, mass urbanization. These are the examples of mass urbanization. Urbanization म्हणजे शहरीकरण. लोकांनी शहरं वसवलेली आहेत आणि या शहरांमुळे जे निसर्गातले जे साधन आहेत, स्रोत आहेत, त्याच्यावर प्रचंड ताण येत आहे आणि त्यामुळे प्रत्येकालाच ते स्रोत, रिसोर्सेस मिळत आहेत असं नाही. इथं तुम्ही बघू शकाल. नाव यू कॅन सी द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ अर्बनायझेशन अँड the government, they could not provide all the facilities to human being because of the scarcity of natural resources. Rio the summit started discussing on the environmental issues. Let's see few environmental issues: soil pollution, air pollution, then drought situations, infertility of soil. Next is again water pollution, how the human being is polluting water due to the chemical wastage in the ocean. This is the daily problem we are facing in city areas, not even in city areas but in rural areas. The garbage problem, the littering of garbage. See the littering garbage on the side of road. This is also a problem. Here the man started deforesting lands. Now there are two types of deforesting. One is to cut the trees, second is to fire the trees. And due to this, the man is clearing the forest for the settlement of human being, for the urbanization purpose. Here we have seen that United Nations, what kind of measures they have taken, and the conference they have held in 1972 in Stockholm. The world has started thinking about it. Again, United Nations means the America they have taken the first step for our environment, to prevent our environment. Second, again we have seen the World Commission on Environment, Brundtland Commission. It is also for the development of socio-economic and the prevent the environmental deterioration. Now we are thinking about Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit. The Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit is working on all the climatic issues, all the environmental issues, and they are taking absolute measures to prevent the environment. Now we will see some of the important environmental concerns. We all are aware about this environmental degradation. With what the human being is degrading environment, that things I have mentioned here. Very first is air pollution, second soil degradation, third ocean acidification, then harm from extraction, next fossil fuel use in medicine and pesticides, and last is climatic change or climate change. We'll see one by one. First is air pollution. Air pollution and climate change are closely linked. Greenhouse gas emissions that are warming the planet are also creating smoggy conditions in major cities that endanger public health. Next is soil degradation, or we can say deforestations, and because of that deforestation, the soil degradation is happening. Because of the more and more extractions from the soil, which is we are digging soil for the minerals. For that extraction, we are degrading, we are depleting the quality of soil. Then salinity has increasing. सॅलिनिटी म्हणजे मराठीत त्याला क्षारता म्हणतात. मातीमधली क्षारता वाढत चाललेली आहे. आपण खनिज जे खणून काढतो त्याच्यामुळेही हे सॉईल डिग्रेडेशन म्हणजे जमिनीचं धूप म्हणू शकतो, किंवा जमिनीची जी स्थिती आहे, जमिनीची जी कंडिशन आहे ती खालावत चाललेली आहे. Then next is ocean acidification. That is the more important in the globalized world. Ocean acidification means day by day the acidification, or we can say the saltiness of that ocean and seas has increased. Saltiness of ocean and sea waters has increased, and because of that it is an danger to the marine life, endanger to the life under the water, means for example fish, then aquatic life, fauna and flora under the water, they are an endanger. The human being is not only extracting the minerals, but we are extracting oil, gas for the various purposes, for the cooking purposes, for the industry purposes, for the production purposes, and because of that it is a harmful to the earth, or we can say because of the digging of the earth we are imbalancing the earth features, we are imbalancing the landforms due to the extractions of oil and gas. Next is climatic change. Yeah, we all know about the climatic change. Japan tsunami we have heard, then Amphan storm. Currently we have faced with the निसर्ग स्ट्रॉम, निसर्ग वादळाला सुद्धा आपण सामोरं गेलेलो आहोत. So these all are the natural disasters, these all are the natural calamities we can say, and these calamities tells us about the climatic change. These calamities warn the human being that now, at least now, you have to conserve, you have to preserve the environment. If we could not maintain the balance of environment, the whole earth will lead towards the disaster. That is the warning for our human being. This is all about the environmental degradation, environmental depletion,